Welcome back to my 12 holiday reviews, and today we are going to be going back to the world of Bakugan with the Dragonoid Colossus. This was one complete set that was released during the third series of gimmicks they introduced for Bakugan. As I said, the second series was traps, and this is the little weapon packs. And as you can see, this comes with 4 of them. And each one's different. They all transform differently, but they all work pretty much the same way, which I will demonstrate with the Metallics Dragonoid, who I already have transformed for a few reasons. First off, you don't really get to get a good look at him when he's in the full combined mode. Second is that I do want to demonstrate the weapon gimmick. So before I talk about the third thing I want to mention about this, let's just look at his nice detailing. There's a nice little green crystal in his chest. He's got little arms. This shoulder's a little loose on mine. Your mileage may vary on this. That's just how these things work with Bakugan, is that sometimes some of these panels will be a little loose. Speaking of loose panels, this doesn't really have much friction to it. I will talk about this later, but for now, I will demonstrate how the weapon pack works, because for the transformation, this has to be pre-transformed, and to do that, you see there's little holes here, there's pegs in the back, there is a metal plate under here, so all you have to do is just pop the weapon right on the Bakugan's back, and just flips out the weapon. All of these work the same way. They just fit on those 2 little pegs and they just pop out. As you can see, there's a little number here that increases the attack power of the base Bakugan's attack power, which is just printed right there. You also may have noticed, I'm not sure if it comes out on camera, but there's also a little rub sign on each of these. There isn't a rub sign on this, which is the transformation core. I'll get to that a little later. Each one had a code you can enter online. I don't remember what they were used for since I never used them. I think they were like for an online game or something, or for like an online index. But anyway, you can see right here, all of the weapons also have the little rub signs as well. So now we get to the thing that I really dislike about this set, because while he looks nice, this is actually the worst Bakugan in my entire collection, and this is due to a very fatal flaw in his transformation. So we got to get him into ball mode, and as you can see, there is a lot of joints just to get him to look like his little humanoid form. So the latch is right there. And now we get to this section here, which is the thing I hate the most. Remember when I said this panel is loose? Well, guess what? His wings, the panel is the only thing holding them in place. There is no latch at all. And there's a lot of wiggle in this main body here. As you can see, I just wiggled it just a little and that whole section just popped right off. Sometimes I have a really hard time just getting the whole thing just to stay together. In fact, just a light tap pops it right open. Imagine trying to roll this in-game onto a card. This panel will just pop right off. It doesn't take a whole lot of friction or force. It just pops right off. And as you can see, I'm not even exaggerating here. I'm trying to get these 3 panels to stay in place, and it just keeps popping apart. This is why I hate this particular Bakugan in my collection, because I can't use it in game. That back panel is just going to keep popping off no matter what I do. So we're just going to leave him there very carefully we are going to move in the transformation platform. You can see it's already pretty obvious what this is going to turn into, but it is nicely painted, nicely detailed, and you can see there are posts on the inside and that little thing in the back. So what do? You take these little weapons. As you can see, there are slots here and posts there, so we just attach that on the back. We take this section and we post it right here, and finally we take this and we post it right there. So now he is ready. We gotta put him down gently so that thing doesn't pop open again. We put him down gently and he is ready for transformation. We're gonna put this off to the side for now. And now we take, of course, as soon as I grab him, the back panel pops off again. There is another Bakugan you can use for this, and that is the Blitz Dragonoid. I do not have the Blitz Dragonoid though, but it was also used the same weapon gimmick. So what we're going to do, I'm not sure if it comes on camera, but there's a little rounded indentation right there, and that is where you drop the Bakugan. So 3, 2, 1. There it is in its full glory, the Dragonoid Colossus. Now with the head exposed, we have these two wider holes, and they just go into the pegs right on the front of the Dragonoid Colossus, like so. As you can see, is in his still folded mode, since we don't fold him out. His head nicely rests in that little recess in that weapon pack, but you're really supposed to transform him, minus the feet, of course, because you have to have the little rounded bottom in order for him to fit in there. If you fold out the feet, he won't fit in there at all. So we're just going to transform him like you're supposed to have him. And there we go. We're just going to put him right back in there so we can pilot this giant mecha. And of course, we fold out these horns right here. I keep this like this because once you get to a certain point, it doesn't really hold too well. I just like to keep it like that. Think of this as just mine that's loose on. Okay, we pop open the mouth. We fold out the legs like so, which are on really nice, sturdy ratchet joints. Which we gotta make sure that all the feet are folded out and level on the table. And finally, this piece right here rotates around, finishing off the look of the tail. So yeah, that is the complete Dragonoid Colossus. And of course, you can take each of these weapons off, and they also just mount on the back of the Dragonoid or any Bakugan that uses this gimmick, really. And we'll take this. This actually looks kind of neat on there, but why does he need wings when he already has little tiny ones? And of course I almost forgot to fold these out, but joint on this is very loose. It's always been loose on mine. The other side's tight enough that it can hold its own weight, so yeah, it's just mine. And of course this thing can be popped off. And of course the two holes, two pegs right there. Even in the proper orientation, it kind of looks stupid. So we're just going to put it back as the Dragonoid Colossus's tail. And we're going to put him back in the pilot seat. And make sure his horn is folded out again. Anyway, this is a nice looking display piece. I would really like to use this on tabletop sometime. I'm sure that a giant robotic dragon will kind of scare the crap out of any tabletop adventurer. As for using it in game, weapons are still functional. This thing's a piece of crap. I would not recommend using him in game. Sure, his stats may be good, but as I said, that back panel does not hold at all, and it will just pop right off. And no, it's not the age of the Bakugan either. It was a problem when I got this thing brand new. This transformation platform, I think there is a way you can use it in the game. However, I do not have the card on hand anymore. It's in storage. So I don't know how this transformation platform actually works in-game. Not much posability in the head, but those legs can be adjusted. And the wings just flap around. But anyway, I say this is a great display piece, especially if you're looking to get some nice display pieces for your Bakugan collection. Unfortunately, I do not have some of the other later releases, like I believe... Let me see, I got the list here. I don't have the Dragonoid Destroyer, which was a mecha that you rolled the Bakugan in and auto-transformed. I would have liked to have gotten that, but I never was able to. There was also the Colossus, which I believe was just another transformation base, kind of like this. Actually, I think it was more like the Dragonoid Destroyer. And then there was the Mecha Virus Destroyer, which was a kind of a combiner of sorts, but it wasn't Bakugan. It was the mechas they released in the 4th series, which I don't even know how those things even worked in game. And then, of course, there was the recent Dragonoid Maximus, which I think was its own thing. I don't think it actually combined with a Bakugan. I don't have that. I would like to, because let's face it, I'm a sucker for dragons, but maybe if I ever get my hands on the Dragonoid Maximus, I'd review that. And of course, I do have the other Bakugan combiner that was released with the Dragonoid, with the Maxis Dragonoid, not to be confused with the Dragonoid Maximus. And unfortunately, I do not have the official set. I have all the pieces that were released separately, though. So I can't really review it because it just looks garish because it's all different colors. But I do hope to review some other Bakugan stuff down the line eventually. So enough with me rambling. That is the end of my review, and I hope to see you guys next video. Bye!